Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. Boy, I gotta say, XRP certainly has not disappointed over the last couple of weeks now. XRP right now trading at 52 cents, about 52.5 cents. We're up a little bit, guys. I've got XRP here on the daily. So right up here, we have been crawling back up today. 52.4 is what we're looking at right now. Let me throw this on the 4-hour chart just to give you guys a sense of where we're at right now. So over the last few days, been great activity. I mean, we're forming a nice ascending bullish pennant pattern here. And, we're even getting very, very close back up here in and around 53, just over 53 cents. So XRP has been performing very, very well. I mean, it all started a couple of weeks ago with some great news coming from Ripple. We got, some more information coming from the SEC lawsuit. Now we're all eyeing the June 13th date. And this has really got investors. I don't know if it's institutional, retail, or whatever, but we're getting investors front-running this thing on pure speculation. So, we were down in around 42 cents not too long ago. Then we got a whole bunch of news, and now we're up almost over 10 cents. So even just to take a percentage, right? Taking a percentage of where we were before, a 25% uptick for XRP looking very, very good. I mean, you compare that with other cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. And quite frankly, Bitcoin generally, it is the leader of the pack, but we're only seeing Bitcoin up 3% in that same time frame. So Bitcoin is doing its own thing based on its own metrics. Right now, trading at 27,200 per coin. So, people are getting excited about cryptocurrency. Everybody is eyeing the Ripple lawsuit to kind of gauge where this is going to go next. Guys, I've got the total crypto market up here on the daily. And, the beginning of 2023, I don't know if we were ever expecting it to go this well. We have seen a bit of a cool down now. Other than XRP, of course. But, we are still in a very fresh bull market. So from here, we're going to see markets move up, markets move down. I know for, some of my patrons who have already subscribed. By the way, thank you guys. I know I've been telling you guys on this channel that in my Patreon, I am trading coins that I don't generally talk about on my channel. I've been getting some feedback. So right now I'm kind of in the process of giving you guys some good cost averaging points. And I'm going to be letting you guys know if I'm going to be making those trades, guys. I'm going to be posting the trades on the days that they occur, but it's also kind of an overall snapshot of what the market is doing. And I know some of you guys have been asking about, the picks that I do talk about on the channel, the XRPs and the Algorands and the V-Chains and the H-Bars. And so I thought to myself, well, yeah, I got to add those ones in. I know some of you are probably invested in some of these particular cryptocurrencies. Considering Algorand did recently get hit by the SEC, it is currently trading right now at around 15 cents. So I'm going to talk about all these coins, and if you guys are interested, again, it is only $5 a month. I think it's pretty good value. I'm going to be talking more about shorter term holds. I'm going to be letting you guys know when I'm getting into trades, when I'm getting out of trades, some of the targets we're going to be looking at, and this is all happening at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. For those of you guys still interested in joining, and it is the beginning of the month, so it is a great time to join. Also, as I said before, the market is still fairly low. We're just, we're starting a fresh bull run. And this is the whole point of the Patreon, right? Letting you guys in on what I'm doing for this coming bull run. I'm going to keep moving along, guys. Apparently, and I wasn't around Twitter too much yesterday, but apparently, I'm sure all of you guys know this by now, John Deaton did have his account hacked. And so, everybody was retweeting this out. And I'm sure Twitter knows by now. John Deaton's phone has been hacked today after a relentless cyber attack over several days. This is not a legitimate tweet. His account has been taken over. He has taken immediate steps to remedy the situation. Please disregard it and all communications from it until you hear from the team here at Crypto Law that he has recovered his Twitter account. And so the person on the hacker team that took over John Deaton's account, they're trying to pitch this coin, Law Coin. And so, this is clearly a scam, guys. And it doesn't look as if we have had an official statement from John Deaton's Twitter account. The last tweet was posted about 9 hours ago as of the time of this recording, but it doesn't look like anything has been remedied as of yet. So I know you guys probably already know about this, and I'm sure some of you guys have maybe even reported this account. Somebody even posted it on Twitter, how you can report that somebody has taken over this account. I think you have to go to report account and follow some steps, and it'll take you to how you can report an account if it is in fact a legitimate account, but if it has been taken over by hackers. So be careful though, because I don't want to report John Deaton's account as a fake account and then they just take it down altogether. Anyway, just thought I would give you guys the update. Sunday morning in John Deaton's account is still being attacked by hackers. Michael Branch here on Twitter posting this. So a bit of a roundup. Some members of the XRP community and some others all predicting that the lawsuit is going to end this month, guys, June 2023. So crypto community members have been anticipating the resolution of the lawsuit. It is worth noting that the outcome of the legal battle, which has lingered for more than 2 years, could decide the future of crypto regulations in the United States. And I think this is why so many eyes are on this case. Even though the case has been fully briefed in the United States Southern District Court of New York, no one knows the exact date when the case will conclude. However, we've got some predictions here, a few that I've already gone over, but, just to give you guys a recap of who is saying what. So predictions from top crypto enthusiasts, of course, the biggest one, Brad Garlinghouse did say, and they're not actually outlining this here, but, Brad Garlinghouse did say it could be weeks now, not months. So, weeks, and that was a few days ago. So could this happen within 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, June? Possibly. We also have Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson also shared the same sentiment. He did a surprise AMA on May the 31st, and he did disclose that Ripple's lawsuit could be resolved by June. Hoskinson made this known after a viewer asked him if the case could end anytime soon. And he says, yes, I do. I think it's probably next month, which is June. And he did post that on May the 31st. Even on June the 1st, prominent cryptocurrency YouTuber and Twitter account Altcoin Daily, with 1.3 million followers, also commented on the widespread rumor regarding the end of the case. According to Altcoin Daily, the rumor suggested that the Ripple SEC case would end this month as well. So June. And XRP community member Ashley Prosper shared a series of events pointing to the possibility of the lawsuit being resolved in June as well. So all signs are pointing to June, guys. Down here, too, didn't want to miss this one. KR Rohit, a Bitcoin believer, also expects a final verdict in June. And this was the interesting thing about this case. We are getting people from all sides of the crypto world, people who have historically been negative on Ripple and XRP, still coming out and, supporting the cause, because we all realize now, I think it took a while for some people to realize this. In the XRP community, though, we have always known this, that this is going to affect all of crypto. And even the Bitcoin maxis now are, taking their heads out of their proverbial butts and realizing, oh, wait, we should probably support this because, oh, yeah, I guess this could affect us too. Yeah, dumbass, you just figuring this out now? So there's the roundup, guys. It is June 4th today. And, the next coming weeks are going to be very, very interesting. Wanted to thank Michael for posting that. This one from Free American Spirit. Part of the reason I think the lawsuit is taking so long is, well, there were the delay tactics all throughout the last 2 years from the SEC. But I think it might have to do with this. U.S. SEC to dismiss roughly 40 enforcement cases after internal data mishap. Get this, guys. They had to dismiss 42 enforcement cases. Now, it doesn't specify here if they were all crypto cases or, maybe some securities cases, maybe some crypto cases. I don't know. Pending enforcement after discovering enforcement staff had improper access to materials meant for commission officials ruling on those cases. So they had materials that they weren't supposed to use, and they did use. The decision comes after the SEC concluded a lengthy review of the matter, first raised in April of 2022, when it disclosed that some of its databases had inadvertently allowed SEC enforcement staff to view legal materials meant for officials within its house court. The enforcement and in-house ruling arms of the SEC are supposed to be kept completely separate from each other regarding such matters. In a statement, the SEC said it regretted the lapse and is committed to fixing the problem. So they had to retract 42 enforcement cases just because of a clerical error. Pretty much. So you can see, these guys are disorganized. They don't have the resources. I don't know if you guys saw that video I did the other day. There was a clip of a guy, I forget who it even was, but he was basically saying, the SEC is scrambling. They don't have the resources. They're trying to raise more money to hit these cases harder, but they just don't have the resources. So, when you come up against a company like Ripple, a behemoth in the crypto space, Ripple has no problem. Well, they probably have a problem with it, but, they can afford to throw $200 million at a case to defend themselves. This is who the SEC is up against, and it did not fare so well. It did not go as planned. Now I'm sure they don't have the resources to keep going, and so, they're probably trying to cut corners and getting very, very sloppy, and look at what this is resulting in, guys. 40 enforcement cases, or 40 plus. I think it was, what did it say, 42 in total? 42 pending enforcement cases now have to be dismissed. So this is a positive for us guys in the crypto space. The judge's verdict is also going to have a big impact on how this gets resolved. And Ripple partnered banks in the US, well, they're also likely waiting for that final verdict too, guys. This is the president of retail banking at Bank of America. Now, we know Bank of America is a confirmed Ripple partner, and we know, I think they've even gone on the record and said, we really want, or no, it was Brad Garlinghouse who said this, that Bank of America is one of those customers that really wants to start to get the ball rolling once there is clarity in the United States. Well, here's what the bank president said on digitalization and how it is the core to Bank of America's success. Listen to this.
We will continue to invest in digital. We'll continue to get better. We'll continue to listen to our clients to give them what they need. But I believe digital is a core way we deliver at scale to 68 million clients. We've got, again, great digital adoption, and great digital adoption through all the demographics, which is really important. You know, low income, affluent, across the generational demographics. And we watch that really closely. We adapt to what our clients are telling us they want and need. Digital is core to our strategy. So digital and physical and the integration of that is our strategy on the ground.
Are you focusing on digital channels, and how much are you addressing the growing needs in this area, particularly with competition from fintechs and all these apps that are, you know, making payments and banking kind of at your fingertips?
Right. Coming out of the pandemic, digital really, it was accelerated. We had great digital adoption pre-pandemic and even better coming out of the pandemic, because I think people who were, you know, shying away from digital pre-pandemic, it became a necessity. So it was a great accelerator for us.
So not only are they thriving with digital banking, the pandemic was obviously that catalyst. And if you guys believe in the theories, it could have also helped as being the catalyst for the Great Reset, something that Klaus Schwab has been talking about for years now, decades. So I'm not going to talk about that too much more, but we have a Ripple partner here, Bank of America. We know Ripple's partnered with the WEF, and I believe even Bank of America is partnered with the WEF. So, I mean, it does make sense. I don't know if these people even realize what they're saying is all connected. Moving away from that, though, for a second, David Schwartz went on a podcast recently talking about the XRP ledger and rule changes, and I thought this was an interesting clip just with regards to the tech, basically stating community members build the XRP ledger, and Ripple essentially is at their mercy. If a dev wants to make a change and it gets voted on, well, here's what David Schwartz has to say about that.
There was never anything preventing people from running their own validators, forking the network, and there still isn't today. If there's something about the XRP ledger that you don't like, whether it's connected, whether it has something to do with Ripple or nothing to do with Ripple, you can offer software that doesn't have, you know, has that feature or has that change that you want. You can run validators that support that feature the way that you want, and then people will decide which blockchain they want to be on. It's extremely democratic, and it has been, I would argue, since the source code was public. So, for example, if you proposed a change in the rules of the XRP ledger, and let's just assume that, you know, Ripple's like, no, that's terrible. That's absolutely the worst thing in the world. Nothing prevents you from releasing software with those changes. Nothing prevents you from trying to persuade people that your software is better. And if people agree with you, then eventually what will happen, there's nothing that Ripple could do to stop you from creating a competing chain. And then, as happened with Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, if you remember, there was a disagreement over the rules in Bitcoin, and someone created a competing set of rules. And what happened is, for a short period of time, we didn't know which Bitcoin was going to be Bitcoin. And so the same thing could happen with the XRP ledger. Nothing stops anybody from publishing changing rules, changing the software, changing the set of validators that they use, changing any of those things. And then we won't know which is the, like, obviously, if nobody listens to you, then it's pretty clear that you're not going to get anywhere. But if you have broad, again, in no blockchain can you force people to accept, Ripple can't force people to accept rules that they don't want, and you can't force people to accept rules that they don't want. But if there's genuine support for your rules, then we won't know, and it could be that there's XRP and XRP Cash, and we won't know which one's XRP and which one's XRP Cash until the market, like, nobody decided that Bitcoin was going to be the one with segregated witness and Bitcoin Cash was going to be the one with bigger blocks. The market just sort of eventually shook it out that that was the way that people had decided. There was no entity that had the power to to make that decision. And it's very much the same in the XRP ledger world. If there were ever disagreements over rules, there's no entity that has the power to say, this is going to be the real one. This is going to be the XRP ledger and XRP from now on. It's going to be what the community adopts.
So it has to be voted on, similar to the Bitcoin network. And I didn't actually know that about the Bitcoin network. There was a point in time where Bitcoin Cash could have actually been the real Bitcoin. Well, we know that is not the case today, and it's because of how the network was adopted, and it was because of how, who was using what. So at the end of the day, what is the real version of the XRP ledger? Well, it's going to be the ledger that is, in fact, utilized the most, where the most value is driven to. And I think Ripple, David Schwartz is saying this in a way that's like, I guess kind of in a diplomatic way where you can say, well, I mean, you can create your own ledger. And if it is voted on and, if people do adopt it, that'll be the one that takes off. But Ripple is so far ahead of the game. I mean, think of all the central bank partnerships, guys. Think of the financial institutions and banks around the world. Think of everybody that's already using the XRPL today. Value is already being driven to the XRPL and has been for, the better part of half a decade, 5, 6, 7 years or so. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it is going to be very difficult for anybody to catch up at this point. That's just my opinion, but wanted to thank Sentosumo Saba for posting that. Also happened to see this, guys. HSBC acknowledges the XRP ledger as a game changer, and I feel like there was a point in time when this statement was already made. I don't remember if it was from HSBC, but I have a feeling it was. Nevertheless, another HSBC representative has also recognized the capabilities of the XRPL in cross-border payments while highlighting its FX tool's massive $250 billion transaction volume in the first year. So this is a brand new reference to this. HSBC, the largest European-based bank by total assets, has referenced the XRP ledger for cross-border payments in a groundbreaking acknowledgement of a transformative potential of distributed ledger technology. This was from a document titled Distributed Ledger Technology in the Capital Markets Game Changers, Future Trends. Specifically, the revelation came in light when Edward Farina, head of social adoption at XRP Healthcare, shared a screenshot from the supposed document from Twitter. So guys, here is the document. I wanted to take it one step further though. Ian Binns has done a little bit of research reminding us about this, okay? Chris Larson, from a tweet, from a post 2 years ago, very proud to be part of this and helping to steer HSBC's strategy for cybersecurity and fintech innovation. Okay, let's not forget, guys, he is on the board, or rather he was on a board at HSBC, part of that collaboration there. So, I mean, these guys are connected. HSBC, a Ripple partner. HSBC, what did they say here? One of the biggest banks in Europe by total assets. So these guys are a huge player in the space. They are Ripple enabled, and Chris Larson connected to their board. At least he was a couple of years ago. So some great news there. Wanted to thank Ian Binns for posting that. I also wanted to share this with you guys from Digital Assets Daily here. Now get this, guys, 9 Asian central banks are to adopt a SWIFT alternative. I do not know if this has to do with the BRICS, whether it's the the Russia-China partnership and that alternative SWIFT system. However, there are some interesting indicators here that do suggest that these could be, in fact, Ripple-enabled banks. So 9 Asian central banks to adopt SWIFT alternative. The members of the Asian Clearing Union agreed during a recent summit in Iran to launch a new cross-border financial system in June to rival the SWIFT International Payment Network, and the ACU members include, all central banks: Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, the Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, and Iran, although the latter is isolated due to Western economic sanctions. So continuing on with this theme of de-dollarization, BRICS nations working on their thing. Russia and China, as you guys can see here, Russia and China are not mentioned in this consortium. So this gets me wondering, is this something else that is going to be an alternative to the SWIFT system? And I mean, this could happen. It could be that, a whole bunch of different systems pop up, 6, 7, 8 different systems that have to be interoperable with one another. Well, that's the beauty of RippleNet. It is interoperable with everything, including the SWIFT system. But let's take a look at some of these countries for a second, okay? One of the more obvious ones, Bhutan, okay? Bhutan, we know, already does have an official Ripple connection stated here on Ripple's Insights blog from back in September of 2021. Bhutan advances financial inclusion and sustainability with Ripple's CBDC solution. I also want to point out that India has a huge Ripple connection as well, has gone back, as far as I'm concerned, probably back to 2017. Ripple started performing in India back in 2017. Since then, the company has had offices in Bangalore and Mumbai and had several customers, including Yes Bank, Kotak Mahindra Bank, Axis Bank, and federal banks. So a huge part of India, even in 2018, Ashish Birla said that Ripple had 50% of India, and that number has just increased. So let's take a look at some of these other countries, guys. Bangladesh. Well, I want to remind you guys that the Bangladesh Central Bank is actually called Bangladesh Bank. And so check this out. Bangladesh Bank, with $4 billion in assets, now employs RippleNet. So Bangladesh Bank Asia has joined Ripple's RippleNet blockchain-based financial services network. This was from back in February of 2020, and I will link these articles in the description if you guys are interested. So we do have a confirmed partnership with Bangladesh Bank, which is in fact their central bank. Unfortunately, I could not find any information on the Maldives and Myanmar. But take a look at this, guys, Nepal, okay? And this is a document discussing central bank digital currencies, identifying appropriate policy goals and design for Nepal. So they put this out from the Nepal Rashtra Bank, okay? This is the Central Bank of Nepal from back in August of 2022. And you can see down here on page 14, they have outlined other CBDC projects in other nations of the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, one of which was in fact Bhutan, where they specifically mention the motivation to accelerate their mission to increase financial inclusion in the country to 85% by 2023. It has collaborated with Ripple to test the potential of a central bank digital currency. So a huge statement here from Nepal's central bank, and that is the only time that this is stated in this document. But they've got their eyes on Ripple, and this document was from a few years ago now, 2022. So it would not surprise me one bit if they have also decided to move along with that. We got Pakistan here. We know leading Pakistani bank partners to launch RippleNet digital payment solution, guys. This happened back in September of 2019. So not a specific central bank partnership per se, but some of the major banks in Pakistan are running on RippleNet. Sri Lanka was another difficult country to find some information on, but guys, let's focus on Iran for a second here. Electronic Payments International heading into the mainstream. This report was from October of 2018, specifically highlighting Ripple and blockchain, looking into finally achieving legitimacy. And on the cover here, the feature Ripple and blockchain, with major US bank PNC joining the growing list of banks and belonging to RippleNet. Ripple's blockchain technology is increasingly achieving mainstream legitimacy. And guys, check this out down here, page 18, country snapshot. They're looking at Iran particularly. Just bringing up some statistics here. So the value of payment cards, value of check payments, looking at how Iran is currently working. Bank and government initiatives lead to robust card growth. So outlining Iran here as one of the countries in this particular document, focused on Ripple and blockchain technology heading into the mainstream, again, October 2018, so a few years ago now, but I have a feeling these guys were planning for the inevitable, and the socio-political climate has changed too. Let's also not forget XRP is a Sharia law compliant coin. An entire PDF document here, guys, Sharia Review Board, Sharia analysis of Ripple. And check this out, they're highlighting XRP specifically. Just to give you guys a sense of what I mean here, Ripple is a company focused on advancing the world of payments. Multiple branches and solutions exist under the Ripple brand. RippleNet, the XRP Ledger, the XRP Coin, and RippleX. XRP is the native asset of the XRP Ledger, a blockchain originally developed in 2011. While XRP and Ripple are intrinsically linked, it's important to note that they operate as two distinct entities. Ripple is a fintech company that builds global payment solutions, while XRP is an independent digital asset, so on and so forth. Down here, Sharia opinion. The XRP Ledger is an open source blockchain on which the XRP coin runs. XRP is the native asset of the XRP Ledger. And here, XRP is the native token and is intended to use as a bridge between hard-to-match fiat currencies. As such, the XRP token has a Sharia compliant utility that can be deemed Sharia compliant. That is the final verdict here from this report. And again, this was a report specifically on XRP. They go over a whole bunch of things, but for the MENA region, and this is why Ripple has been so popular in the MENA region, a lot of Muslims in the MENA region, and Sharia compliancy is very important. This is why they're not just picking any particular cryptocurrency. This is also probably why we are seeing these regions of the world specifically where there are particularly high Muslim populations come together and decide, okay, we need a new system that combats SWIFT. Chances are, guys, I'd wager money on this, that it would have to be Sharia compliant. So what do you think? This is why Ripple is so big in the MENA region and continues to grow. So is this system going to be running on RippleNet? Well, a bit of speculation here, but it certainly is looking like it could very well be true. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.